How do you think that helps us when you say such things about another black man? On my worst day, I would never call you that. I would never call anybody that, including somebody I hate. And we all know who that is. It's not you, Willie D. I don't know you. I'm not talking about you. Everybody know who I'm talking about when I talk about somebody I despise. I wouldn't even call him that. So that's so out of pocket. It's so juvenile. It's so uncalled for. It's so excessive. Maybe you should look in the mirror and ask yourself, does it apply more to me or you? I ain't never called no black person that. And more importantly, I don't treat black people that way just because they disagree with my take. Now, I just gave you examples in terms of OJ's situation being televised. We saw what we saw in terms of the evidence. We understood why he was found not guilty in a criminal trial, as a member of the OJ team, Carl Douglas, who worked under Johnny Cochran, came on this show not once, but twice to explain. So we got that. Then we have to get to the point where I was not really talking about OJ in terms of being acquitted on the murder charges. I'm talking about all the things that came associated with him, not to mention the fact that he did not want to be a part of our community. When we talk about sellouts and stuff like that, who was a bigger one when it came to our community than OJ? He wanted nothing to do with us. Nothing. And made that very, very clear until he was indicted on double murder charges. And Johnny Cochran tipped him off to what he needed to do in order to ingratiate himself with our community and elevate the level of support that was needed, as they turned it into an issue of race, when we all know it was really about fame, because as Chris Rock once noted in his stand-up comedy, if OJ was a bus driver, his ass would have been in jail. So it was more about fame in a lot of people's eyes than it was about race. What I was pointing out was OJ didn't want anything to do with us. He had no use for us. But yet, when he gets indicted, and that same community that he embraced so much, that he treated like family, wanted nothing to do with him, he came our way, looking for support from us as black people. And my point is, that is the reason, along with everything else, why the BET Awards should not have honored him with their in memoriam segment.
The only reason they feel the way that they feel about OJ is because OJ is a black man. One of the only reason they feel the way that they feel about OJ is because OJ is a black man. One of the very few in the history of this country who was accused of killing white people and got off. Yeah, now that's what this is really about. That's right. That's what this is really about. Because there have been a whole lot of white people who have killed white people in this country and got off. And they've never had that same energy for those people. You know what they say? Well, I believe he's guilty. But a jury of his peers acquitted him. They saw it differently, and we just have to respect the jury's decision. Our system is not perfect, but it's the only system that we have. That's what they say. But for some reason, they can't let it go. It's OJ. They can't let it go for some reason. And they have these stooges like Half-Hat, Stephen from Django Smith, perched up to do their work. They put them on national TV. They put them on these big stages where they can have a big audience, where their words can have some influence. And they use these little monkeys like Stephen A. Smith to say the things that they can't say publicly. Oh, they definitely say it in private, but they can't say it publicly because they would be called the racists that they are.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to our live stream. It is a beautiful Sunday. Gosh, it's been raining, but it's all cleared up. It's humid right now. It is Random Topic Sundays, the hottest live stream here in the cosmos of social media. We want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope you are blessed and doing safe. We're getting right in. You saw earlier the clips that I had that I was showing all this weekend. This past week, actually. We talking about Stephen Django Smith, and his remarks on the O.J. Simpson in memoriam that he was put on BET because white mommy and daddy have been complaining about it. He decides to complain about it, and he stated that O.J. Simpson is not somebody that didn't want to be or should not be honored on in the memoriam on BET. And he, after you saw what he was stating, we're going to talk all in depth about it. He was saying, well, I'm not even talking about the acquittal. No, I'm talking about the fact that he wanted nothing to do with our community. Why does he deserve to be on that? And I think OJ actually has a better chance. Between OJ and Stephen A. Smith, I think OJ would have a better chance of being invited if he were alive, being at a cookout, than Stephen A. Smith would. I think OJ with Stephen A. Smith, and let me be careful. If he did pass, I don't think Stephen A. Smith likely. Well, he may be on the in memoriam, but I think he would have a less chance of being on that than OJ did and OJ was actually on that. And that's because Stephen A. Smith, for the last, I want to say 12 years that he's been on ESPN. Remember, there was a time he was actually off ESPN after he had his show, quite frankly, canceled back in the late 2000s. I want to say that show ran from like 2004 to 2007. I can't be so sure. But I used to watch the show. I enjoyed his broadcast. I remember when he had real brothers come on like Boyce Watkins, Damon Wayans. He had Allen Iverson, which was big. But nowadays, ever since he's gone on ESPN and he has basically shown his true colors, or should I say true color, on the inside. Now, Faizon Love and Willie D have been going back and forth. I want to show you all what's going on with that, coupled what's happened with Ryan Garcia and what they have. So today's show is called Where Do They Find Y'all? But before we get more in depth in that, I want you all to make sure you smash up the likes, hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we speak. So, make this long. So we're getting right into it. We talk about Stephen A. Smith. We talk about Faizon Love. So y'all saw that clip. Stephen A. responded to Faizon, and he responded to Willie D. I'm going to play Faizon's response in a second. But as y'all know, this is all about this thing with O.J. Simpson. And I'm going to give my feedback on it after I finish playing Faizon's take on it. Now, keep in mind, we all know, because we all watched the trial, O.J. Simpson was acquitted. He was acquitted. Now, whether you like it or not, whenever someone gets acquitted, especially if it's someone in a dominant society, they always tell us to respect the verdict. That's the message that always gets out, is respect the verdict, respect the verdict. And so I want y'all to listen. So Faizon, of course, I played what he had to say on Thursday. This is the follow-up to Stephen A.'s video. Kwame Brown has even talked about it. So I'm going to play what Faizon had to say about
Stephen S. I'm going to say this on the end line. It's actually sad because you don't understand the vomit you spew. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, did you even really grow up with black people? Did you see the struggle? Because it sounds like, I mean, you was that guy that your daddy would bring you up to the park, and you had on long white socks, and he would be, hey, could you fuck with my son? He ain't used to being around real niggas. Can you play ball with him or show him a little something? And people would get the fuck out of here. Take that long-nosed nigga with you in his long-ass socks. Or did you even grow up with a black man in the house? Were you adopted by a white family? Is that how you got that job? Because I don't know. You have no athleticism at all. I can beat you at any sport you name. Hockey, checkers, hopscotch, handball, badminton. How did you get that job, Stephen? Stephen A? Then you got to know the nerve to tell me the trial was televised for 6 months. Yeah, and so was the motherfucking verdict. Did you not see the verdict? Or were you bad? Because when you grew up in that white family, y'all say, oh, they lit them off, Ma. You are a disgrace. A disgrace. Then you got the nerve to quote Jay-Z? Like he's a bearer of light? Are you fucking stupid? He even said, I was not black, I OJ. First of all, you misquoted him. Both of you ignorant ass straw niggas misquoted him. The exact quote is, I'm not black or white, I'm OJ. I'm an individual. God made me. God bless me as an individual. That's why they lost that motherfucking case, because they was judging a black man and not the motherfucking evidence. They got lost with being black. He's like, no, I'm special. It's like all these children are special. They're all individuals. There's not two of nobody out here. Even twins are different. Judge me as OJ, nigga. Not just a nigga off the street, everywhere, nigga. Because that's why niggas get shot. Because that's the same nigga that came here last week. Stephen A., I know you ain't really raised in a black neighborhood or nothing like that, and they just lump niggas up at the same time, arrest you and slap you upside your head, put a gun to your head and say, you want to go home, nigga? I know you ain't never went through no shit like that. You were undercover, raised by white folks. I was raised by wolves, hyenas. They had to get it. They had to get it. That's why my face is scrunched up. And next time you want to get out your black, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna be black and I'm gonna show you who I is. Show me, nigga. Let's just say you beat me up. Let's just say, you know what, Stephen A. Smith whooped my ass. I'm like, what you gonna do about Willie D? Willie D, fighting his sleep. You knock me out, here come Willie D, straight from Popeyes. And you say, Willie D fighting his sleep, boy. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Because this is a culture, but we're all individuals. I was raised in the culture, nigga. I was raised in it, nigga. All of it. The educational side, the street side, all of it. The dope side, all of it. You sitting over there, wherever the fuck you from, judging motherfuckers on shit you don't know of, nigga. Fuck out of here.
So that was Faizon.
Stephen ass.
We the Brown boys. The Brown boys. We the Brown boys. The Brown boys.
That's what Kendrick's talking about. They are not like us. They are not like you. You don't talk about OJ. Nigga, are you crazy?
So that.
And Stevie Boy, that's the point everybody make about you, and that's the point. See, some people try to say, oh, Kwame, you cried. Oh, no, they didn't cry. It's just look at this nigga, man. When Dana White slapped that white woman, Dana White slapped a woman in the face. They get up there and they be so hypocritical and say, oh, well, she hit him first. When it comes to black women or women, period, if the woman was black, the first thing they would have said is there's no reason to hit a woman. How in the world can Stephen A. stand by Dana White? But every time there's somebody black, he got to say something negative. O.J. Simpson, what's the difference between him and Elvis Presley? Elvis Presley was sleeping with 13-year-olds, married one. They don't bash Elvis Presley. They uplift Elvis Presley. O.J. Simpson, whether you like it or not, everybody always say, believe in the court system. And if he's found guilty, if he's found innocent, believe in the justice system. Well, how come they can't say that for O.J.? He was actually found innocent. Why can't we talk about his football and what he brought to the football game if he was found innocent? If it was a white boy, they would have said, you know what, believe in the justice system.
Right.
When it's O.J., it got to be an asterisk by his name for forever, even when he was found innocent. How does that make any sense? And they send Stephen Boy out there all the time. Jaylen Brown, he's not marketable. Every time he's opening his mouth, it's something negative towards black folk. And that's all he gets paid to do. He has no talent. He made up his entire life.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because to what Kwame is saying, Stephen A. Smith, has never been a professional athlete. See, it's like what I talked about earlier on the last broadcast. I don't see myself being an analyst. I can call myself an analyst on football or basketball. If I never played the sport, I don't understand. There's stuff I don't understand about it. Yeah, I know generals about it. I'm a fan of the sport. I like some stuff. And do I necessarily, you can be obviously have a job in sports and not play any sports in your life. Howard Cosell was a broadcaster for 30 years, 40 years on ABC and never played sports in his life, but he was just great at commentary. So I'm not saying you can't have a career or do anything, but when you are an analyst and you are basically I look at it as somebody who is supposed to be a particular specialist that knows a skill. This is a guy that's never played sports in his life. Yeah, he played basketball in high school and college briefly, but never played professional sports. And while he was somebody at one time, I had a great respect for Stephen A. Smith. I thought he was that dude. I liked his, like I said, when he had the TV show, I enjoyed the guests he had. I thought it was open to brothers and so forth. But then the show gets canceled and he comes back to ESPN in I think it was in 2010 or 2011. And he joins First Take. And Skip Bayless is on First Take. He and Skip have that team for a few years. And I noticed stuff that he would be saying. You know, he was talking about if he had the chance, he wish he could have been a lawyer because he would have beaten Johnny Cochran in the O.J. Simpson case. He went in on the Ray Rice situation. The only time he spoke up and spoke truth when he talked about how women should be careful about what they do messing with men and avoiding certain situations. And then the next day, he had to apologize for it because his handlers at ESPN told him he was out of line and he shouldn't have done it. And there was a backlash by a lot of the feminist groups, the organizations who felt his comments were insensitive. And so he had to come and tuck his tail as I was apologized. And even when he apologized, they said it wasn't enough. He got suspended for 2 weeks on ESPN. That was in 2014. Michelle Beadle went on Twitter and criticized Stephen A. for his remarks, even though it was against company policy after he said that. She didn't get punished. She didn't get fired. She didn't get suspended. Who they punished? They punished Stephen. He talks about Kyrie Irving and the remarks about Kyrie Irving, how he shouldn't play on the team, how he should be banned because he didn't want to take the you know what. Exercising his First Amendment rights. Jaylen Brown, he makes remarks about him. He's not marketable. Jaylen Brown just went to the NBA Finals. He just won. I can't say it on X Share Witty because if I say it, I'll get banned. They go through your channels now, and I'm talking about actually going through all your videos, even if it's from 2-3 years ago, and if they find something negative, they'll actually ban it. They may even terminate this channel. That's why I'm asking everybody to go to Rumble. Go to Rumble, and I'm going to put the link to the Rumble in the chat where you all can go to my channel and subscribe. You can go to the channel and subscribe. Because we've been doing the live streams here. And you can also drop something if you want on Rumble. Y'all see the ticker at the bottom if you want to drop anything, but anyway, I digress. So Stephen A. Smith Stephen A. Smith has a habit of running down on blacks. But when it comes to other groups, Stephen acts a little different. And I'm going to give you an example, a prime example. So you heard what Kwame said. That was just the clip. Of course, there's more. Shout out to brother Kwame Brown. But I want to play a little bit of something that happened recently. Now, this goes into my second topic. Of course, we're talking about Faizon and Willie D versus Stephen A. Smith. Did y'all know, as it relates to Ryan Garcia, I talked about him Thursday and the racial tirade he was spewing on X. He was suspended by the World Boxing Council on Friday over his remarks. And there were people splaining for him. And guess who was included in that? Now, I'm going to play for you all. I'm going to show you all, first off, what I mean by splaining. Hold on, I got to stop the music just for a second. Just so y'all can hear me. I'll lose my train of thought. This is on X, okay? I was on here earlier, and we were going in. And by we, Tariq Nasheed and I commented on what Ryan Garcia's people were saying. And then y'all don't know if y'all know this, but Oscar De La Hoya is his promoter. De La Hoya, y'all know who he is if you follow boxing, who Oscar De La Hoya is. He's a former welterweight and middleweight champion. And this is what he wrote. He said, "There is no room for hate or intolerance at my company, period. I condemn Ryan's words in the strongest terms possible. I see that he has apologized, and that is a start. It is only a start to earn back the trust and respect of those of us who have and continue to support him. We hope Ryan will use the time he has away from the sport to work through the issues he's publicly discussed. We stand ready to help in any way, whatever way we can." Now, he didn't apologize, and that's the thing. Ryan Garcia never apologized. And I even commented about what he had to say. And I wrote the fact that, oh yeah, that was funny. Bust a bus. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Where's my... So I responded to it, and now I can't... Don't tell me I don't think they took it down. I thought I had... I know I responded to it. I had retweeted what he had to say, unless they removed it. But I even responded to it. I remember responding to it and saying, Oscar De La Hoya, he never apologized for this. He never apologized for it. You can read his remarks here. He said he's sorry to everyone that he offended. I take all responsibility for my words. I misunderstood. I just got a lot of trauma, and it's tough. And it's been a tough couple of months, as everyone can tell, but I am sorry. I struggle with substance abuse, and it is hard for me with everything going on. I actually love Black people, no cap, which is why I'm actually sad. I guess he means sad. I offended all my Black family and friends. This sucks, but all I can do is be better and stop using stupid words and letting some people in my circle hype me up. Nigga, what? This sucks, but all I can do is be better and stop using stupid words and letting some... How you use exactly using the N-word, using the word nigga that you used in your live stream, and we all heard it. How does someone hype you up to say that? You have such a large Black following and Black family, like you say, and friends. What would make you... Who can make you hype you up to actually feel that way or say that. And then you make the remark, more offensive remark, you say, I still stand on stopping black on black crime, and that I hate pedos, so that will always be something I stand on. What the hell are you saying?
All right.
Your man.
What's up?
Get your man.
All right.
People coming back. There's no coming back from that. You lost your black fan. Yeah, there's also stuff. Hulk Hogan is in the news. All of this stuff. Yeah, Hulk Hogan is in the news about racist backlash. I'll talk about that briefly in a second. Of course, he meant what he said. And alcohol and drugs doesn't create racism. Alcohol just reveals what you truly think inside. Your mind is numb when you're on drugs and alcohol, but it doesn't change what you feel personally. So I've actually found what I said here. So this was my actual, I couldn't find it. I don't know why, but I responded to De La Hoya and Garcia. I said he didn't really apologize. He doubled down in the middle of an attempted apology and only became sorry because of the backlash he received. Drugs and alcohol don't make a bigot, hatred does. Exactly. Exactly. And speaking of which, yeah, Hulk Hogan's been accused of racism again because Hogan, I'm going to get back to Garcia in a minute, but I see this trending, but I'll show y'all, and I had commented on this. This beautiful woman, this model, was the brand ambassador for his new beer, Real American Beer, and beautiful girl, as opposed to this damn thing. All right. So her name is Essence Janae. She's an influencer on TikTok, and she revealed that Hogan paid her to be an ambassador, but fired her the next day after discovering she was black. Now, Hulk Hogan has had a history. Now, I was a kid that grew up. Damn, she's fine. I was a kid that grew up with WWF, and Hulk Hogan was one of my heroes. All of us had heroes back in the day that were white. Let's just be real. Just like James Bond was a hero to kids. Batman, Superman. You know, Superman was an alien. I still like Batman. I like Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man. That's all because that's all that's on. Indiana Jones. I could go on. There's a bunch of people. That's what's pushed. That's what's promoted. And WWF, yeah, I looked up to those guys. And when you get older, though, and you see some of the vignettes that they did, the things that they said, you realize how much some of these guys, not all of them, but some were a piece of shit. And I remember when Hulk Hogan, back in 2015, he made some remarks about a black man dating his daughter. So I remember that. And supposedly what happens here is what Essence is saying is that Hulk Hogan discovered she was going to be the ambassador, but he fired her. After one day of promoting the band, he canceled her contract. And he's on a new brand ambassador. He says, you didn't do anything wrong. This is a text message. I don't know who it is. But the client wants you to cancel the rest of the events this week. And he said, oh my God, what happened? Are they only taking me off of the events? Are they canceling the events completely? He said all the events are canceled completely. Now I don't know what happened. I don't know who she's communicating with. I assume it's with the market or management. But she took to social media that it was canceled it was canceled all week. And then she says the next day she sees Hulk Hogan with a group of white females. So, and this piece of shit says Hulk Hogan works and has worked with countless black people and still does. This is why people get annoyed. The immediate idea that it has to be racist or to use it as a hammer to get paid and extort someone. Well, what about the stuff he doesn't see? People like this don't even respond to the remarks he made 10 years ago when it was leaked out how he felt about black people. And I clapped back and responded. But tied it back to Stephen A. Smith, because all of this involved, I don't even remember Stephen A. Smith. He didn't defend Hulk Hogan. He came at him, but he was like, well, the only thing that gives me cause to pause is, I remember this too, when they were talking about is that the audio was from several years ago and it was secretly recorded. That's the only thing I'm gonna give at Hulk Hogan. But then Stephen A. Smith responds to the ban on Ryan Garcia, and I want y'all to listen to what he has to say.
Sports today, and that involves
I gotta watch
boxer Ryan Garcia.
Fair use, by
Once
the
again,
way.
he's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Yet again, away from the ring, of course. The latest incident occurred during a live stream on social media where Garcia repeatedly used racial slurs against black people and even disparaged Muslims. As a result, the WBC expelled Garcia from any activity with the organization. This follows the one-year suspension he also received from the New York State Athletic Commission after a positive test for performance.
I want y'all to listen to carefully what he's talking about. So Ryan Garcia, he's reading the tweet from Mauricio Salamane, who, as president of the WBC, expelled Ryan Garcia from the organization over his remarks. Okay. Now, I'm not playing the whole thing for various reasons. Y'all already know they'll put a copyright strike on me, so I have to pause it in between and talk. And I don't want to play the music, but I'm not showing the video. I'm just going to show the audio. And I believe you all can hear the audio. So I want y'all to just listen to the audio. Fair use, by the way, okay? Now I want y'all to listen to the audio.
The suspension is retroactive to Garcia's April 20th decision victory over Devin Haney, which was overturned due to a no contest. Here's what Garcia's family had to say in light of the recent decision from the WBC. Quote, our son has recently made statements that do not align with his or our family's true character or beliefs. Our family unequivocally does not support any statements he's made regarding race or religion. These do not reflect who Ryan truly is and how he was raised. Those who know Ryan can attest to this fact. Ryan has been open about his ongoing struggle with mental health over the years, and as a family, we are committed to ensuring and encouraging that he receives the necessary help to navigate this very challenging time and address both his immediate and long-term well-being. We appreciate the continued support and prayers and compassion. He should be suspended indefinitely. There should be a disassociation with him from the sport of boxing, because the things that he's doing and the kind of trouble he finds himself in are not a byproduct of boxing. In all likelihood, it's a byproduct of alcohol and drugs. We can slice it any way we want to, but that's just how it appears to be. That's what we're looking at right now. And I think that needs to be said. I've interviewed Ryan Garcia on at least 2 or 3 occasions. Actually, I've been very fond of him. I like him a lot. Once upon a time, I felt that he had a chance to be the new face of boxing. I did make it contingent upon him being able to beat Gervonta Davis, which he did not do. He got dropped in the second round and then got the fight stopped in the 6th round due to a body shot, okay, from Gervonta Davis. And so that's where that happened. But in the end, as we look at him right now, he definitely seems to have a screw loose. And nobody is interested in being compassionate right now. When you insult black people, when you insult Muslims, as he did in that video, okay, bringing up George Floyd, talking about, calling himself a member of the KKK and all that, he does not seem in his right mind. He seems out there. And he has completely tarnished his career. Once upon a time, Ryan Garcia was absolutely positively box office. I'm not trying to imply that he's not box office now, because I think if he went into the ring, still a lot of people are going to watch him because he's got lightning quick hands, he's got power, he's got skills, but he's got a screw loose. It's just that simple. It's not fun to watch. It's not pleasant to watch by any stretch of the imagination. But I really, really believe more than anything, he's warped because he lost to Gervonta Davis. He was embarrassed by it. And I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about. It was a good fight. He got caught and got dropped, got right back up, went back to fight Gervonta Davis. And not only did he do that, but you get caught by a body shot. That happens.
Okay, wait. I don't know if y'all heard that. I want to make sure y'all heard that. He's saying he hasn't basically gotten over the fact that he lost to Gervonta Davis in a fight. Now, this is boxing. Blacks and browns fight all the time. Nigga, what? De La Hoya versus Hopkins. I remember when Oscar De La Hoya fought Bernard Hopkins. And Hopkins knocked him out in the 9th round with a body shot. I don't remember De La Hoya going on a racist tirade against black folks. Same thing when he fought Sugar Shane Mosley a few years earlier. I don't remember this. I don't remember that. I don't remember Tito Trinidad going at it on black folks against B-Hop when B-Hop knocked him out back in 2001. That was one of my favorite fights. That's the fight that made me take note of Bernard Hopkins. Go back and watch that. That was 23. Hard to believe that was 23 years ago. But B-Hop caught Trinidad with an overhand right. Knocked him flush out in the final round. But Stephen A. Smith is starting to make excuses. Oh, he feels bad about losing to Gervonta Davis. That was last year. He bounced back and beat Haney, Devin Haney, although it came out, the fight got overturned because he was taking drugs. He was taking steroids, stuff you're not supposed to take. They know better. He knew better. But let's go on. I want y'all to continue to listen to what African Bozo the Clown has to say. This is your Stephen A. Smith. Just look at that lining. I'm conceding the fact my lining is going. I'm getting up there. I look sexier without the hair. Stephen A. Smith still trying to hold on to the arch, and he get the George Jefferson. I've never seen a George Jefferson on the chart, so he must be off the chart. Or he combines the number 3 with the number 10 and gets a 13. I don't know. It's damn sure not a fade. But this is a man, I'm dissing him because this is a guy that always continuously talks down about black folk. So let's listen again. Let me mute it. Y'all can hear the audio, right? If I don't play the video, that's okay. So I'm gonna just continue. Let me continue with the
He didn't get knocked out the way Frank Martin did. That uppercut that left Frank Martin hopeless before ultimately getting caught with a left check from Gervonta Davis that put him down. That was a knockout. That's not how Ryan Garcia went out. And I know it was ultimately his win over Devin Haney was ruled a no contest. I blame Devin Haney for that. What the hell you take the fight for? He came in 3 pounds overweight. He made no efforts to honor the contract. It was supposed to be for a title shot at the 140-pound division, but ultimately he was ineligible for the belt because he came in 3 pounds overweight. And you're gonna bet him $500,000 for every pound that he's overweight. And he glad you gave you the $1.5 million that he owed you for being 3 pounds overweight. He made no efforts to honor over Devin Haney was ruled a no contest. I blame Devin Haney for that. What the hell you take the fight for?
So wait a minute. Now listen, I have to rewind it. Now he's talking about what happened earlier in April when Garcia fought Devin Haney. The fight was ruled a no contest. Did y'all hear what he said? He blamed the brother. He blamed Devin Haney for that fight because he didn't make the weight. Garcia didn't. I think Garcia was overweight. Garcia didn't, and he was going to pay him $500,000 on the fight. He blames Devin Haney for it. Did y'all hear that?
He came in 3 pounds overweight. He made with a left check from Gervonta Davis that put him down. That's a knockout. That's not how Ryan Garcia went out. And I know it was ultimately his win over Devin Haney was ruled a no contest. I blame Devin Haney for that. What the hell you take the fight for? He came in 3 pounds overweight. He made no efforts to honor the contract. It was supposed to be for a title shot at the 140-pound division, but ultimately he was ineligible for the belt because he came in 3 pounds overweight. And you're gonna bet him $500,000 for every pound that he's overweight. And he glad you gave you the $1.5 million that he owed you for being 3 pounds overweight. Come on, bro. You're the champion. You were undefeated. You should have never gave him that fight. If he's not willing to honor the clause, so be it. To fight Gervonta Davis, he had to have a weight clause, a hydration clause, all of that. Gervonta wasn't playing that mess. And I believe that Ryan Garcia feels completely hosed because he had to give in to all of those stipulations for Gervonta Davis. And he said, I don't give a damn about rules. I don't give a damn about the belt. All I care about is making sure that I leave the ring victorious because that's what people will remember. And when it comes to Devin Haney, he's absolutely right. Because even though he cheated, because clearly he didn't honor the weight clause and he was using performance-enhancing drugs because he tested positive twice for it. There's all the way to slice that. At the end, we're going to remember him dropping Devin Haney 3 times. We're going to remember how weak and damn near helpless Devin Haney looked in losing to Ryan Garcia. And that's what we're going to hold on to regardless of what the governing bodies say about a no contest or anything like that. So Ryan Garcia knew that, and that's why he didn't care. But he deserves the 1-year banishment, and he deserves for his family to issue the statement that they issued. And right now, if the black community and the Muslim community is pissed at him, they have every right to be with what he said. But I think that he's mentally warped because he was embarrassed because he can't get over the fact that he lost to Gervonta Davis. If Ryan Garcia had beaten Gervonta Davis, I don't think we're seeing all of this.
Oh, shit. He's saying if he had won a fight, you wouldn't have seen all of this. This is what I was talking about when I put in the caption how Stephen A. Smith is standing up for Ryan Garcia. He is. He is. Just listen to what he's saying. So he's blaming the fact that he lost the fight on racism. Now I want y'all to look at the comment section. I'm going to finish the clip. But before I do, look at the comment sections. His subscribers. Alcohol, drugs, and mental illness don't make you racist. They make you tell on yourself. Exactly. Blaming his racial tirade on a loss is bullshit, Stephen A. Smith. They got to pull this excuse card. They say Stephen A's been a lame duck. He's always got an excuse for somebody that's not black.
I think we're seeing a brother that's at the top of the heat in the fight game. That's
a brother that's at the top of the heat in the fight game. Now, this man then used the whole N-word, and you calling this man your brother.
Absolutely box office. And we'd be talking about who he's going to fight next. I think that's what we'd be seeing. But he lost to Gervonta Davis, and that's what this is about. Either way you slice it, the brother needs help. He really, really does. Because he does seem mentally warped. And alcohol and drugs are what people are alluding to is involved with all of this. You ain't getting any sympathy today. Not with the shit you said in that video.
But you're giving the sympathy, Stephen A. Smith. You making the excuses. This is what ESPN. I see why Corey Holcomb went in on Stephen A. Smith. You have been seeing it. Anytime there's a scandal, it's involving black men, he gonna find a whole story on him. I'll never forget when he, after the NCAA, the college football championship back in 2017, they were in Los Angeles. And Stephen A. Smith pulled up some statistics about how most domestic violence cases involve Black people, Black athletes. Never mind the fact that most Black people make up 75% or better of all the sports. So if you wanted to find something negative, I guess if you wanted to do that, of course you're going to see if there have been a list of people that have been arrested on domestic violence charges. Yes, you'll see a lot of Black faces. But the reason they're arrested isn't the fact that they're Black. And you also got to factor in how many of those actually went to trial. How many of those were actually convicted? He probably can't even come up with that number because it didn't exist.
Maybe another day, but not today.
But that's the crap you're dealing with. This is the mentality. And there's a reason Corey Holcomb called him out. There's a reason Willie D has called him out. There's a reason Tariq Nasheed called him out. There's a reason I've called him out. Y'all seeing it. Yeah, and Willie D did a video about Stephen A. Smith getting eviscerated by his own subscribers. Y'all see that in the video that I just showed y'all. Everybody knows Stephen A. Smith.
Now let me get to the big story that I want to get into.
There's a reason why Faizon said was quoting Kendrick. They not like us. They not. He's not. This tells me everything. This should tell everybody what they need to know. And this is the same nigga that tried to ruin Kyrie's career. The same man that went on ESPN. I'll never forget. He did threaten Kevin Durant. Telling Kevin Durant, you don't want it with me. Kevin Durant would have smoked your ass. Kevin Durant is 7 foot. What you gonna do at 6'2"? And Kevin Durant is from what I heard, is a good brother. For all intents and purposes. I've never known Kevin Durant to be in any scandal, have any drama, nothing, any BS going, nothing like that. But that's the mentality we fight today, guys. And nowadays, people, when we were coming up, when we had guys like him and Larry Elder, and I'm going to wrap this up, and a few others, we didn't have the tools and weapons to clap back at them. We didn't have social media. Things can go viral at any second now, and you say something, people can respond. And that's when anything. We didn't have that back in the 90s. You didn't have that even in the early 2000s. We now do because we got X, we got Facebook, we have Instagram. People can comment. We have a platform. Now I have a platform, and my platform, in all honesty, is not the size of a Stephen A. Smith. He's got exposure. He has more exposure than I have. I'm not known all around the world. I'm not known nationwide. But we all can get there, and we all have an ability to comment and talk. And so we got to start clapping back at the Stephen A. Smiths and at the at the Candace Owens and Jason Whitlocks, especially when they talk negative about our community and about us. And I'm pretty sure Stephen A. Smith better not, here's my thing, he better hope he never ever has a scandal. He doesn't get in trouble with anything, because I'm even hearing he's demanding more money from ESPN, and they're looking, supposedly, the rumors are they're looking to replace him from ESPN. He's making $18 million, and I think he wants more than that. And they're looking to replace him. And they're already going in on him because they're saying his behavior at ESPN, look at what they wrote on Axios. This is on Alliance Sports. They say his behavior causing serious tension behind the scenes at First Take. He's seeking $7 million raise in his contract. And his current deal is set to expire next year. And some crew members describe the First Take atmosphere as very frustrating and on the verge of becoming an impossible situation. Yeah, he better not hope he don't get me too. Because then all of us are going to post some statistics. And we're going to go back to this video, to that video, what he said when he defended Ryan Garcia and others. How you treat others can come back to haunt you. So he doesn't want to, better not be the one to get in trouble, because there are going to be a lot of people who are not going to remember this and not going to support Stephen A. Smith and give him the stuff that he's seeking. Because remember, you went at a dead man with OJ, saying he shouldn't have been honored because he had no ties to the community. OJ Simpson had 3 black children. I can say that much. He was married to a black woman, his first wife. Now, whatever reason, couples, they get divorced. It happens. There's a fair, whether it's through, it could be adultery. It could just be falling out of love. That happens sometimes. A lot of people grow distant. But you say, oh, he shouldn't have been honored. And BET, to their credit, at least, that's the only thing I said they did right. O.J. Simpson was acquitted. And they honor everybody. Anybody that had some type of impact in the community, anyone that passed, gets honored. Jim Brown, I'm sure, was in memoriam last year. I didn't watch the BET Awards, but I'm sure he was. And Jim Brown had been accused of have gone to jail, domestic violence, and so forth. But Jim Brown still put in work to the community. Jim Brown sat down with gangsters, with gangs, the Crips and Bloods, trying to work out stuff in the community. He did mediations. He worked and did stuff for young black men. He mentored people. So he put in work. But Stephen A. Smith better not hope this scandal don't bite him. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. It's been a great live stream. Make sure you all smash up the likes. Donate to the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. You can subscribe to the Patreon. You can also advertise there on gavin.dreamreport@gmail.com. But make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Make sure you also please donate something to Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal. I do want to say this briefly. I think I may be taking a break. I've talked a lot about this, y'all. You know what we've been dealing, and I always, uh, I've always had issues with the powers that be here on these platforms, and so it may be necessary for me to take a little time off in the future. I mean, and by that, in the immediate future, to step away so I could focus on other things. You know, I always could still end up coming back, but yeah, I've had to deal with a lot. You know, I come back usually for y'all. I come back for the computer robots, the CCs, the Danielle Myers, and a few others who always ask me when the next show's coming on. Come on, we need you. But it hasn't been easy. So, but I need to take time on other projects that I'm trying to finish and complete this year. So there may be a time where I'm not going to be doing a show for a little while. I think I just need to relax. But you never know when I'll drop something. So I'll just stay in touch, family. And we'll talk a little bit later. God bless y'all.